Today on Paranormal Insights, we're going to look at palmistry and is the future in the palms of your hands.
And we have a question from Katie about her life purpose.
And a quick look at light stones. Joseph Ernest Martin.
And I'm Markus Thorndike.
And this is Paranormal Insights, where we bring you the latest and best from the metaphysical world.
Here, you'll get real tools and insights to your questions as we bring you answers from beyond the ordinary.
Markus is a master hand analyst and associate faculty member of the American Academy of Hand Analysis. He also speaks and appears all over the West Coast.
Joseph is an award-winning psychic of over 25 years and the author of the international bestseller, The Quest to Row. He is a recipient of the Visionary Award of Excellence.
We are so glad to have Markus with us tonight. Markus is stepping in for my co-host, Cindy Grayson, who is with her family tonight, introducing into the world her newborn granddaughter.
Oh, that's so great. And it's an honor to be here. It's just great to be here, and I'm going to do my best to try to fill Cindy's shoes.
Well, I know you will, because Markus is an incredible hand analyst. I've known Markus for a number of years. We've traveled together, and the things he's able to see in the palm of a hand is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's hand analysis is really, it takes palm reading really to the next level. You know, there's chirognomy, there's chromancery. These are the things about the lines in the hands. These are about the hand shape. But we've added the dermatoglyphics.
Even Marilyn Monroe had her palm read by Hassan at the Beverly Hills Hotel. What was said, we may never know. But what we have seen recently in movies such as Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts, and in the movie Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., palmistry is an ancient form of information gathering by interpreting the shape and lines of your hand. As most palmists will tell you, you cannot tell the future by reading a person's palm. What you can find out is what has happened to that person in the past and what is happening now in their lives, and extrapolate what a person, given their history, will most likely do in the future. It is also a great tool for finding out a person's personality traits. Today's palmistry tends to be a combination of two ancient disciplines, cryognomy and cryomancy. A little hard to say. Cryognomy uses the shape of the hand and figures to assess personality and character traits, while cryomancy is what most people today would think of when they hear of the term palmistry. Cryomancy uses the lines on the palm to determine major events and give some insights into a person's life. Readers usually will start with the person's dominant hand. This is the hand that the person uses the most. This hand is sometimes believed to represent the conscious mind. In some palmistry traditions, the other hand, or less dominant hand, is thought to represent heredity and family traits. The left hand is controlled by the right side of the brain. That is where pattern recognition and understanding relationships is processed. The left hand reflects the natural self and lateral thinking. It is considered to be part of the person's personal and spiritual development. The left hand indicates the yin of the personality. The right hand is controlled by the left side of the brain. This is where language, reason, and logic come from. The right hand reflects the objective self, education, and experience. The right hand shows linear thinking. The right hand also represents the yang of the personality. With a little training, you too can learn to read your own palm and even the palms of your friends and family.
These are the fingerprints that are in your hands, which reveal your life purpose.
Well, you know, I have even seen real doctors, when I've done readings for them, who've told me that when you look at someone's hand as a medical doctor in the real world, you can tell certain things about them because physical things appear in the hand, like dehydration or jaundice or many other things too.
That's very true. And in fact, there's other things. There's indicators even within the hand that sometimes reveal people that are autistic or who have other mental disabilities, we can find that in the hands, and actually we can find ways to speak to them based upon what we see in their life purpose that help heal them. Can actually help heal them.
Well, the healing, of course, is the best part of this work. When I look at people's hands, and I'm not a palmist, but when I look at people's hands that come to me for a reading, one of the things I always want to look for is the trait of honesty.
Whenever people I've just met realize that I'm a hand analyst, they often show me their hands and ask, "Can you tell me my future?" They want to know if they're going to meet their next boyfriend, or get a better job, or if they're going to have kids. And I give them all a quick one-word answer. No, I can't tell you your future. But that short answer isn't the whole story. Let's start with what I mean when I say no. It's true that most professional hand analysts today agree that you cannot read someone's future in the palms of their hands. Now note, I said hand analysts. Hand analysts have been trained to read hands, and they generally take classes to learn how to do it. The usefulness of hand analysis in people's lives has been proven in work done at Stanford University. And our studies indicate that you cannot tell how many children someone is going to have or when someone is going to die by looking at the palms of their hands. Now, in addition to hand analysts, there are also palm readers. And unfortunately, those are a mixed bunch. There are some very good palm readers out there. The good palm readers of today shy away from prediction because they have learned that such predictions are no better than flipping a coin. But then there are the gypsy variety, who see curses identified in the hands and who say that they can foretell your future by looking at your palms. I encourage you to be highly skeptical of these types. But as I said earlier, all of this is not the whole story. Because though we cannot predict your future, what hand analysts can do is tell you this. We can tell you what will have you be the happiest, the most fulfilled that you can be in your life. So, in a way, we are predicting something for your future. We are predicting what is the best path for you to take in your life. In the studies and research performed by hand analysts over the last 40 years, we have discovered how to identify a person's life purpose, or what Carolyn Miss calls your sacred contract. It's actually found in your fingerprints. Now, in addition to your life purpose, hand analysts like myself can also identify special talents and gift markers, areas of life where your efforts and attentions are not only important, and often even necessary, but are also places where you will feel more fulfilled in your life. We also can tell key information about both your needs and your wants in terms of intimacy and love. So though we cannot predict whether you will meet a new boyfriend next week, we can help guide you in how to approach that new boyfriend when you do meet him, or even how to better deal with that husband of yours of 20 years. Hand analysis is a science with research to back it up. It has validity in today's world, and it can help you to live the life you were meant to live. Now, it's true, I can't foretell your future from reading the palms of your hands, but I and other hand analysts can tell you how you might live your best future.
Because I want to be able to discern right away if the person asking the question of me in a reading is really being honest, or if maybe it's hard for them to understand how to be honest because of their own, maybe even genetic traits that show in the hand.
Yes, and what we've used as hand analysts is we look at the fingers. We look at these fingers, and especially the mercury finger, which is the pinky. The straighter it is, the cleaner it is, that's going to be the more honest type. Mine, you can see, is just a little teeny crooked. Every so often, a little white lie will come out of my mouth, and I'll be like, oops, what did I do?
Well, and with the hand, too, there is something that I've been told, anyway, called the mound of Venus. Doesn't that sound like really sexy? And if you have a large mound of Venus in your hand, it kind of means that you really like the pleasurable things, the sensual things in life, you know, the things that are really enjoyable.
It's so true. Yes, the bigger the Venus is, well, the more fun usually is had. Sometimes it can get even over the top.
So, what kind of palm do you have? Here are the 4 most common hand types. The earth hand is generally broad with square palms and square fingers and a thick or coarse skin that is kind of ruddy in color. The length of the palm from the wrist to the bottom of the fingers is generally equal to the length of the fingers. Earth people tend to be level-headed, no-nonsense individuals who like physical pursuits more than intellect. They are practical, conservative, and love the outdoors. The air hand is square or rectangular. It has a palm with fingers that are long and sometimes protruding knuckles. They have low set thumbs and often dry skin. The length of the palm from the bottom of the fingers to the wrist is equal to the fingers. Air people love to spend time in intellectual realms. They are naturally curious and are full of ideas. They thrive on nervous energy, are prone to worry, and create stress. They have trouble in emotional relationships. The water hand is recognized by the short oval-shaped palm with long, flexible, conical fingers. The length of the palm from the wrist to the bottom of the fingers is usually less than the width across from the widest part of the palm, and usually equal to the length of the fingers. Water people are sensitive, emotional, caring, receptive, and artistic. They are mostly motivated by their feelings. They especially have trouble coping with stress and are happiest in a peaceful environment. The fire hand is characterized by a square or rectangle palm, flushed or pink skin, and shorter fingers. The length of the palm from the wrist to the bottom of the fingers is usually greater than the length of the fingers. Fire people are busy and vibrant. They are energetic and action-oriented. They love to have lots of variety in their lives and lack patience. They often make good leaders and are strong individuals. The next time you shake hands with someone, you might want to take a look and see what type of person that you're dealing with. After all, the future may be in the palm of your hand.
There's also, by the way, stars in the hands that are gifts. So like we can find the star of Venus is a gift for pleasure and play and delight.
So if someone doesn't have a huge amount of Venus, that big, huge part right here, what does that mean exactly?
Someone who is very sensuous, someone who wants to touch, connect with the earth, connect with a partner, connect with working out in the gym. They want to just touch everything and connect with it all. I tell that kind of person if they're in an office all day, they need to at least hug a tree every day. They got to touch the earth.
Well, I think that people who are studying palmistry could really use this in business. You know, I would think that if you were in a business meeting or you were meeting with a client and any indicators you could see from shaking their hand, touching their hand, watching them sign a contract that could help you understand them better would really be an asset in that area.
It sure would. It sure would. And in fact, hand analysis could even be used in larger settings with groups in a business setting where you can learn about a whole group's nature of their whole life purpose as a group. And by doing so, the whole group could function better. You could actually work with it for group dynamics.
So in a group itself, you could look at a tendency in the group by just looking at their hand.
Your life purpose is the core reason that you are here on this planet now. It is your agreement for being here. It is your sacred contract. Your life purpose includes what we call your life lesson, which is your core life issues, and what we call your life path. When I talk about life purpose, it is like we are all gardeners of individual lotus flowers, all of them blooming in the pond of existence. Each lotus flower represents the potential blooming of our own individual life purpose. As the sole gardener of our life lotus flower, we must ensure that our flower receives sufficient nutrients in the soil and muck at the bottom of the pond. This is what we do when we work with our life lesson. Your life flourishes from working and caring for the nutrients of your life lesson, flowing these nutrients up the stem of your life path and allowing them to flower beautifully into your life purpose. For more information about knowing your life purpose, I recommend you both contact a hand analyst as well as read the book Life Prints, Deciphering Your Life Purpose from Your Fingerprints by Richard Unger.
Hands.
Yes, that's right. And especially like when we're looking at the life purpose of someone, often what we'll find is if whoever's been doing the hiring, their life lesson is in the entire group. It's amazing. It's almost like they've come together to sort of agree not to work on something together.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I think people too, at least myself, when I was first looking at palmistry, I was kind of wondering, you know, in my head anyway, like, is my lifeline broken or is my love line broken? And if it is, what on earth would that mean?
Well, breaks in a line are just usually trouble or leaps that need to be made, connections that need to be made, things that have been, yes, they are in some way broken, and you have to work on them to bring them together and merge them.
And one of the neatest things about palmistry that I just love is that your hand is not static, it changes all the time. And so if you change, your hands change.
Except for one thing, which is the fingerprints, which do not change at all, which reveal your life purpose. And now we're going to visit with light stones.
We're here with Marielle Ruth and light stones. Now, you know, people know what stones are. Everyone knows what a stone is.
Yes.
But this is like crystal stone pharmacy. What is this pharmacy part of light stones?
Well, I have materials from all over the world, and each stone holds a different vibration. And so the pharmacy is I have a full range of stones and materials for any support, energy support that people might need.
So if someone has a need, does that mean like an ailment or a discomfort? Or?
It could be energetic, it could be mental, it could be I can't sleep, it could be anything.
So like if someone has insomnia, you know, we're in a high stress society.
Yes.
We're all running around like crazy. We need our rest, we need our sleep. What would you recommend for someone who wants to improve their sleep?
Funny you should ask that. There's a stone from India called scolasite, and it's very good for relaxation. It's especially good for sleep disorders.
And how does that work when someone would get folacite? How would they use that?
Scolasite.
Scolasite.
Well, they could hold it, and the class that I'm giving at noon teaches people how to actually listen to the stone. Why have you called me? Because some people will just go, that keeps calling me. I have to come back and buy that. And there's a way of opening the senses that are not physical senses, and the stone will talk to them, basically. So I would say, if you hold it, if it feels good, sit with it and just see what happens.
So when people are coming to you, you are like diagnosing them? Is that what's happening? No.
People come and they bring, I would like help with this, and I explain this is not medical, this is not in case of, you know, a substitute for medication, but these are subtle energies that can help.
And what kind of successes have you heard of from people who've used these stones?
It's amazing. There's this one stone called lepidolite, which has lithium in it. And I say, I understand some people hold this when they're nervous and it really helps them relax. They come back and they say, it was amazing. How did you know? I said, well, there's some agreement from people on the energies of certain stones, and then there's some disagreement because we all have our own energy system and our own requirements.
Yeah, so one size doesn't necessarily fit all.
Not at all.
So people are going to look at this segment, they're going to be seeing you, they're going to be going, I could use a little more rest and I could use some help. How can they easily find you?
Well, my website is a bit old, but I can give you my phone number and you can email me with any questions you have.
And what's your phone number?
530-265-3159.
And your email for people on the internet?
Lightstones, lightstones@att.net.
And of course, we'll have this information at the end of the segment and in the credits at the end of this show. You know, it has really been wonderful to meet you, and you have so many beautiful items here.
This has been a calling for since 1985, and it's really a calling for my heart. It's not just a business.
Personally, if I could have like tons of money, my house would be covered literally in gemstones and crystals. I just love them so much.
Gemstones and crystals are just amazing aspects of our, when we look at them and we look into them, it gives us new insights into who we are.
And don't you think they like really feel great too? Just the energy of touching them is wonderful.
Sometimes I get a charge and a juice just by holding something.
Yes, and her collection of stones is definitely worth looking into.
And now we have a question from Katie about her life purpose.
I have a question I'd love for you to answer. What is my life purpose?
Katie, we're so happy to answer this question for you, and I'm going to tell you why. Very few people, at least in my practice, ask about their life purpose. They ask about many other things, but life purpose, I believe, is maybe the biggest and most important question. Of course, I've asked my guides to come in and your guides to come in, and let's see what they'd like to tell you about this really amazing and important question. The first indicator I get that my guides are telling me for you is that you really work very hard to turn defeat into victory. So no matter what challenge you have in your life, you will make that happen. You are a girl of new beginnings. But here's kind of the thing with that. When you make new beginnings, you often create a painful period before rebirth. And so consider creating a joyous, happy, amazing period before rebirth instead of the pain. You will work hard to get stuff done, but honestly, I got to tell you, you got to work a bit harder. The work you do needs to be connected well with other people, and you need to be courageous in your approach to your life and your life purpose. Willpower is probably the most important aspect you need to put forward, as I see it, at this time. Now, if anyone can make lemonade out of lemons, it's going to be you, because you've had a lot of challenges in your life. I want to tell you that the universe is going to want you to do this kind of solo for a while. So you're not going to feel as though there's a lot of help around you, but you need to really focus on making those connections with others that will be helpful for you. Now, deciding your direction yourself is probably the most important aspect of this reading for you from your guides. It's important that you focus and you decide that direction. Which path are you going to take? And the pains of the past, especially those from early childhood, around growing up, around your parents, you've really got to let that go at this time. This is all about you, your life purpose, and where you want to go. Now, if you were looking for me to tell you exactly what to do, my guides aren't going to give me that information for you. Because what they're going to say for you, at least in this reading, is you need to decide what you need to do for your future. Because they want you to take ownership of that decision and be passionate about what it is you want to create. Now, this is a pretty good set of cards, but as you can tell, this is all about you and what you need to do. Katie, I want to thank you for such a great question and a rare question. Not a lot of people ask, but probably the most important question you can actually ask for this lifetime.
Katie, asking that question, what is your life purpose, is such a vital thing to know. And as a hand analyst, one of our special privileges is that we can talk directly to life purpose, because that's revealed in your fingerprints. Your life purpose is the innovator of love. Innovation requires a lot of courage. It requires a lot of determination, because innovators are doing something absolutely unique in the world. They're bringing something new forth that wasn't there before. Sort of like Henry Ford, when he brought in his new horseless carriages, and everyone thought he was crazy. Well, that's part of what you are here to do, and you're here to do it through your emotional expression. Now, that emotional expression is built into a life that you have, which is a little challenging in the area of expressing your feelings. You have a tendency to hold back, a tendency not to open up your heart and express the true, authentic feelings that you're having. You'll tend to act them out rather than to say them. It's true that you need to have time and space alone and privacy, but you also need to step out and express truly from your heart and open up in an innovative and unique way. And that makes you the innovator of love. In addition, you're a gifted healer. You need to do innovative, gifted healing for the planet and for individuals in order to feel fulfilled. Now, the more that you act as a gifted healer, the more that you act out and deliver healing to the world from an expression of your heart, the more you will feel fulfilled. That life purpose is all inside of the lesson of emotional authenticity, emotional expression, which, as we've said, is a little difficult for you. So as you work that, as you express your heart, you're going to open up your capacity for innovation and your capacity for healing. It'll also help you in the area of relationships.
Katie, that was just like so fantastic. And one of the great things that you got with this, especially tonight, is the fact that Markus has your handprint, and he was able to study this in depth for you, which I think is just a phenomenal thing that you did for her.
Oh yes, it's such an honor to read someone's hands and look at them, and to be able to speak directly to that life purpose. It thrills me to death when I get the chance to do that.
And the life purpose question is possibly one of the biggest questions you could ever possibly ask. And the emotional side of this for her is obviously just a little bit difficult, but totally in her ability to have happen and to make happen.
Yes, and you know, in listening to your particular reading for her, it was such an interesting way that they came together, because you were talking about her need to be determined, to really focus and get through the challenging times. And being innovative is a very challenging life purpose.
We want to answer your questions and address your topics. If you have questions you want answered or topics you want us to look into, please let us know. I'm easy to find. You can find me at questtarot.com or Joseph at questtarot.com.
And you can find me at lifepurposeconsulting.com or email me at marcus@lifepurposeconsulting.com. You can watch this program on Comcast Channel 17 in Sacramento, California, or on the web at accesssacramento.org or betv.org, or in the San Francisco Bay Area on Comcast Channels 23, 28, and 29, and throughout the state of California on AT&T Uverse TV. Don't forget to watch our companion show, Paranormal Connection, with host Donna Wilberg.
You can follow us on Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube. Simply search Joseph Ernest Martin, Markus Thorndike, or Paranormal Insights. And please watch our new weekly show, The Magic Minute, where you'll learn easy-to-use everyday magic to make your life better, every Wednesday on Vimeo and YouTube, where it only takes a moment to make magic. And when you do, please remember to click like or subscribe. Please send us your questions and topics,
so we can share our paranormal insights
and answers from beyond the ordinary.